Hello and welcome to our next episode in our Drazhar paint job guide list things. And today we will be painting the blades. So let's start from those. I'm probably going to be painting the blades set on his back the same way I'm painting these ones, just for consistency. So yeah, let's start. I have a fresh palette. Same day but different palette because I needed space. So let's redo our colors. We have a green from Chimera, and we have a violet from Chimera, phthalo green and violet. So let's place those on the palette, as well as some ivory and some black. Bloop. I don't need too much of these paints. These paints have a lot of coverage and a lot of pigmentation, which means, on average, I don't really feel like I need to be using a lot of them. I just wish they had different pots. If if you want to listen to a minute rant for a second, I really wish they had different pots, because these ones, unless you are constantly taking care of the paint, it gets stuck and then paint flies out while you shake it and it's awful. So yes, I just wish they had different pots. This is my only gripe with these paints. I love them deeply. It's just the pots. Like, I don't know why people don't just use, the Vallejo method. This is a true and tested method. The paints are safe, they don't spill out, they stay inside. It's just nice, I don't understand. He says, having difficulties to open the black. Okay. I just prefer these kind of pots. Just better, man. Anyway, we got our ivory, we got our black, we got our purple and green, so we can start. I'm gonna be mixing. I think I want to keep the colors. Let me wear my glasses. I want to keep the colors towards the metallic colors of the black weapon towards purple. So what we're gonna do is get the purple. I'm gonna add a touch of white to it so I can actually see the color, because I have to reveal it. As we said the other day, these purples have a lot of pigments and they look black when I color. So you gotta reveal the paint, right? So I added a bit of white, and now with the green I can desaturate this purple, because they are opposite on the color wheel. So we can make this purple pretty much a black, and we can thin it down and base coat our weapons. I will introduce the green in these weapons, in the indentations in them, so we'll still have a bit of contrast happening between the two colors. Just keeping the scheme together, right, as much as possible. So let's go with that. Okay. Good stuff. I can actually use this color to also paint the blades he has coming out of his armor, on the elbows. Let me increase the exposure a little bit so you can see all the nooks and crannies. It's gonna reduce the quality of the paint job a little bit for you, because it's gonna play around with the contrast, so the model will look less good, not because it's bad, but because if you modify the contrast technologically with the camera, the model will look like out of the colors I placed will look no longer like they belong to each other in the same way they did when the contrast was fine. But anyway, it doesn't matter too much. I just want you to see what I'm doing properly. So yes, base coating these. Let me also base coat the back blades. And as I'm looking at these blades, I am figuring out that they have like a very sharp edge separating them. So I can use that for contrast, which means I will probably keep the inner part of the blade, and the non-cutting edge, to this dark purple, and instead move the cutting edge to a silvery gray color. Okay, so we're good. Now let's make this grayer. So let's add some white to this mix. I do actually find this to be fairly gray enough, so I don't really need... I can add a touch of black. By the way, I didn't really add the green to the purple, I just added black. Because I couldn't figure out a different color, but it's fine, it's the same thing. I'm still desaturating. But anyway, with the black, we can make it grayer, but still maintain some of that purple hue to it. And now, the way I want to paint this blade is a less smooth, a less blended method. But instead, I'm going to be doing a cross-hatching kind of effect, where the separation, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. The separation between this layer of paint and the previous one is more rough, okay? I want roughness to happen here. So we have the highlight there, which connects to the one on the model. And we can have another one here, maybe. I don't want it to be as strong, but we can have it. Okay. Same thing goes on this blade here. I am placing this in a very blocky way because I'm figuring out that even though I want the two colors to be more roughly blended together, I feel like the separation, the difference between the two colors is too strong, which means I'm not going to be allowed to blend this way. So you will see what I mean in just a second. So for now, I'm just layering the color in normally, just base coating it in place. Okay, now that we have that, we can make a mix. So, you know, 50-50 kind of thing, making the highlight darker, pretty much, adding a bit more purple to it. And now we can do the cross-hatching thing, which means I can place this highlight, this mid-tone, in a more rough kind of way. If the brush is splitting, is actually a good thing. Sorry for the noise, but you know, coronavirus, it is happening, so sometimes ambulances pass by. But anyway, yeah, we got the color down. You can see that it's already fairly well blended. If we want to do the finishing blend, since the colors are still wet, we can go back to the shadow color and just kind of stipple it in very roughly. And again, like, you can see that, you can appreciate how these blades are gonna come to life and look metallic and nice without actually having to be fully blended. Because not all non-metallics need to be super blended in order to look metallic. So now, we can increase the highlight, just add more ivory to this mix. Let's make like a light gray. Same deal. Inside of these areas of highlights, we can have like a bit of a stronger light happening. Again, I'm placing it kind of randomly. You can see that it's coming along once we blend it. No, and again, I don't mean smooth blend, it just mean like giving it a brother. Look how roughly I am sketching in this highlight. Brush is kind of moving all over the place. I don't care for full coverage. Not everywhere, at least. I want the center of the highlight to be fully covering, but the sides of it don't have to. Okay? And the more layers you do, the more the highlight color will show through. For obvious reasons, I'm just simply reinforcing a layer, right? Which means the previous layer was kind of pretty transparent, showing the colors beneath it. This one isn't, because the color beneath it is itself. So it's gonna be more strong, more opaque. You can see it here. Okay, same color, just, you know. So now we can do a mix. Same thing, just a mix. And we can use this color as a stipple to blend the two together. Okay. Okay, and now even more ivory. We can go pure ivory if we want to, just to get like that juicy contrast out, and then work down and place it here, and then kind of roughly make it look weathered. You can see that looking like metal now. Okay, now we can blend. Okay, there we go. Okay, so one thing we might want to do is have a bit more of these gray mid-tone purple showing through. We can go back to it and kind of reinforce it. And you can see that since we have previous layers of paint, when I when I go and do the stippling of this color, some parts of it are gonna be, you know, reflecting the ivory beneath them, while others are gonna be reflecting the other colors, creating like a different look. Okay. Okay. Now with the green, we can make like a black green. It won't be green at all. It's gonna be pretty much a black, but I'm using green into it to suggest the presence of the green. Just get like a nice contrasting color. We can make a glaze out of it and working it in the shadow area, make it stronger. Okay. Now I'm feeling like the highlight area is a bit too sharp, so I'm gonna tone it down a little bit. I'm talking about the ivory mostly, like the ivory here is way too strong. Okay. Now that that's done, you gotta keep in mind that you don't want both highlights or all highlights in your non-metallic to look the same, so I'm gonna be toning down ever so slightly the ones on, not the main ones, because this is the main highlight, this is a bounced light. So I'm gonna be toning that down a little bit so that it doesn't look exactly like the other one. And we can keep, you know, this highlight to be brighter than the other. There we go. I think I'm fairly happy for now, so we can work up the purple this time. Because we have the purple weapon. We can keep this one a bit more on the purple side and less on the placing the highlights. Okay. Add more ivory. Get a nice highlight out of it. Okay. Okay, we can blend. Okay. I feel like the blade is not dark enough in its shadows. We're just gonna straight up use black. And try to make it look a bit darker. Okay. Just gonna add like scratches and other things to these blades so that it looks a bit more used. Okay. I want to bring some color into this, so I'm gonna be using um, German yellow from Vallejo Model Color to bring some, vibrancy, as well as Chimera white, because it's not ivory. It's not really a white, as you know. So I want to push the values of these highlights a bit further. So we're gonna be using a bit of a Chimera white, which of course I have to get unstuck. Okay. Yeah, with this very white color, we can do edge lights first off. Okay. We can also strengthen these highlights here. Okay, and with pure white, we can have like a dot of light happening here. Push the contrast even more. Okay. Now we can go back to the shadow color, the black, and kind of glaze it in to blend. I wanna make these highlights to look not very big. I want the metal to look like a dark metal color that highlights into gray, white, etc. But it's still a dark metal. Okay. Now we just gotta blend this in. Okay. Okay, we're good when it comes to the uh, normal blade part, to the edged blade. We can do that also for the non-edged blade now. Okay. 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 We can do a bit more glazing on these highlights on the cutting edge, just to get them to be, in shape. I feel like I need a bit more of a mid-tone between the black and the purple. So we're gonna get that out. Because the black of the shadow is a bit clashing right now with the whites. Not in a nice way, I don't know. It feels lacking. I'm gonna be yeah, I prefer this. It is good. Right. We can develop some contrast by having like sharp. Adding some weathering can make the non-metallic more believable when it comes to especially in the shadow areas. Okay. Pretty good. We can work on the greens now. I'm gonna be using, I think, Moot Green from GW. I was looking for a strong green to use for these kind of effects, and the only one I really have is this one, so might as well use it. Okay. I'm gonna be doing this on multiple layers, mostly because it's just easier. If I wash in the area like this, you can see I fill in the detail. I don't really have to paint it, right? I'm just letting the color flow into the recesses. It's kind of a wash, but it's less diluted, so it has more coverage than a wash. While that dries, we can work on the blades on the back. I don't really feel like I have to do too much work on them. We can keep them fairly dark, but for now the right thing to do is just pick out the volumes. Okay, I feel like we are good. We can work a touch more on blending these blade highlights in, but that's all about it. Let me do the elder symbols the in the weapons here. Okay. Okay. We can add some purple to this green. Basically get like a brownish green, and we can use this to have the OSL. It's not gonna be a very strong OSL, it's gonna be mostly very tame, but I still want it. Okay. Just a touch of it, and then with the purple we can blend. And now we can um, thin this white down a lot, because we can basically wash the inner part of the. Let me clean the brush. I had some green. We can basically wash the letters to make them pop a bit more, and since it's a white and it doesn't have too much covering power, and we have the greens in there, the white should dry fairly bright, but also kind of inconsistently, well, in a way that makes these letters look like they are, bright, without actually having me to go and paint, the bright spots in them. Something like this. And as this dries, we can reinforce this greenish color. At the same time, we can use the same color for the eyes. Make them pop a touch more. Okay. Okay, good stuff. We need to do the bottom of the highlights on the blade. I am not going to be doing too much of them, in a sense that we need these highlights to be darker than the ones, directly in the light source. I'm just going to be wet blending some blacks in. See, like, looks like an highlight, but it's not as strong as this one, so it makes a bit more sense. Because it's still a shadow area. And we can actually wash this weapon in light. So give me a minute while I work on the markings in the blade. I will be back in a second. Okay, now all we have to do is edge highlight the markings on the blades to make them pop a bit more. So let's do that. Okay. Okay, I think we're good. Next time we're gonna be doing all the details that are left, and then after that we can work on, refining the paint job, because there are plenty of things that I would like to change about the paint job, just very small touches that we can do to make the paint job just be better. So I'll see you later in the next video. Thank you for watching.